Welcome to the March 19th meeting of the Dudley Board of Water Sewer Commissioners. This meeting is being recorded, and we start with the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, the minutes from February 17th.
Mr. Chairman, I make a motion to accept the minutes of February 17th, 2026 as written.
That's the meeting with Webster, correct? I think that was.
No, this was the budget.
Oh, that's
That's a short meeting.
okay. Motion's been made. Is there a second? Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Unanimous. March 4th meeting minutes.
I'll make a motion to accept the meeting minutes of March 4th, 2026 as written.
Second. Okay, motion's been made and seconded. All in favor? Aye. Unanimous. All right, new truck for the water.
As you know, we're going to be losing two trucks. One we've just about lost now due to rust. It can't be inspected at all. That's the 2007 truck for the water department has. The sewer department is also going to be losing their truck. It's a 2012, which is extreme rust. The bed is actually coming off almost. We still use it. It got through this last inspection, but it will not go through the next at all. So, couple things here. Seeing that first of all, that the sewer department can't really absorb a whole new truck, and that their mileage and runaround is not anything near the water department, I'm kind of looking at moving that 2018 water department truck that we have, that was the primary operator's vehicle, moving him into the other F-350 truck, and giving that truck either whatever the board deems monetary donation, or just let them use it and keep it as the water truck or whatever they want to do. Give it to them and purchase a new 2026 Super Duty F-350 utility body truck for the water department guys. That'll be that service truck that does all the running around, meter work, service work, stuff that they do now. Right now they've been using the F-350, and that's starting to wear out too. We've decided to put the lift gate on that truck, so that when the primary operator has that truck, he has been able to go get chemicals and things like that with it, and that would be his to use. It doesn't do anything, won't be doing a lot of running around. It'll be mainly just him doing his little thing. The other guys will have the use of the new truck to go do all their running around and stuff. The price that I did get first from McGovern is with some stuff that was deleted that we didn't want, that we didn't need, but they had it on there. It's going to be about $75,000, $74,694.95. But we do want to have a little buffer there to apply for the take it out of retained earnings, just for accessories like radios and things like that. So I don't even want to add 20 grand or 15 grand or whatever, but $75,000 will give us a completely utility body with strobe lights, all the stuff that we need, cabinetries and all that stuff. It'll be a heavy-duty F-350, and it will come with a plow package on it, so that the plow can be used for plowing. The other bid is coming in from Place Motors. That looks to be even less than that. So as soon as I get that, I'll have that. He tells me it's going to be a couple $1,000s less, about $3 or so. So that will give the sewer department two trucks, and that should give them a couple of years of service with that other truck, because they don't do half the amount of running around with it that we do. They'll have the other one, the utility body truck, that's in very good shape. You have the list of trucks in there, mileages and that. And they'll have that other one, which is in the 50s or 60s, I can't remember what it was. And that's in excellent shape. The water department will have our trucks. It'll be getting rid of both the 2012 and the 2007 through bidding process for surplus, or whatever the usual way we dispose of trucks. So that's my recommendation there for the trucks, for the departments, both departments.
What are the DOR rules for transferring assets from one enterprise to another?
Right?
I think you can do, well, I think you can actually donate if you want, and you can do a monetary value of the truck, which is worth about, I have it here, about 12.9 is the actual Kelly Blue Book of that value of that truck. So use that as your benchmark. That's the fair market value for sale of that truck. Or you could keep it as the water department truck, and like any other agency shares trucks or borrows or whatever, they just use it, and then at the end of the life of it, we sell it to surplus for the water department, take the money from it from there. I guess it's up to the decision of the board how they want to do it. But a new truck for the sewer department to replace the one they have now, you're talking $50,000, $60,000. So, and they don't have that kind of money right now. So I don't think they need to have that kind of truck. I think that should suit their purpose good.
I seem to remember that it was town policy to do purchases during this fall town meeting. And the spring town meeting was budget, projects, and that sort of thing. And purchases were done in the fall. That's the way it used to be. I don't know, is it still
We'd have
that
to
way?
confirm it, but here's the thing, even if that was the case, we could still just let them use it and then at fall do an official transfer of some type. with
But
the
no,
truck.
I'm talking about the purchase.
Oh, no, I don't think so. I think we can do it now too. Because it is kind of a,
To be honest, at least, and I can only speak for myself, to me, it seems like with everything else going on and I think we'd be better suited to, for the fall town meeting to do this. We don't even have the second quote yet. It's kind of being jammed in, and it hasn't been to capital improvement yet.
that's on Monday.
So,
Would the 07 continue to if it's inspected now, right?
Yeah, we're using it without
Not the
inspection.
07,
It's
the
not,
12.
the 12 has got an inspection on it, but you're gonna start throwing money into that truck soon to keep it on the road.
I'm not saying throw, but like if we had, a procedural delay here, do you have vehicles until you could?
Well, we're using the 2007 and the 2012 right now, so I mean, we could use them, but like I said, I'd have to see. I don't think I thought we bought one of ours, mine was the last one. I thought we bought that in the springtime purchase, if I remember.
okay,
One was bought in the fall and one was bought in the spring, if I remember correctly.
So how many employees on the water side?
Got the primary operator, you got the distribution operator, you got the third operator, you got myself, and two on the sewer department. Well, yeah, two on the sewer department.
So you get 4 employees and 5 trucks.
Yep. And the box truck is meant for big work and stuff. We don't commute or do runarounds with that if we can avoid it right now. That's been rehabbed too. We put some big money into that, but it's been rehabbed, so it's in pretty decent shape. We're gonna keep it that way.
So what are you basing the fact that the sewer can't afford a truck?
If you wanna spend out of retain for that, for a brand new truck, that they're really gonna not need a truck like that to run around, and they really can get along with the other truck and do their work.
So what type of work do they need the truck for?
Mainly service work, the same the water does. Checking stations, working on stations, whatever, service calls to people who have trouble with blockages. They got the other truck too, but you want to have a service truck with it. You want to keep using the utility truck to do all that work that they have. It's a crane truck. So the other truck would be their runaround truck, odds and ends, checks, things like that. Same thing the one now, the green one does now.
Do they need a full-size pickup truck to do pump station?
If hauling some stuff, yeah, I mean, I wouldn't want to deprive them of it. They're using the 8-foot bed with the tools that they have in it, because they're long tools to get down in the trenches, to the troughs and things, so they need some space there. They need a little bit of room for their equipment, things like that. Yeah, I would want them to have a pickup like they do now. They have an 8-foot bed on theirs. This one's an 8-foot bed. And if we want to put the crane on it, that's on that other truck, this truck can handle it because the suspension's been beefed up on it, so it can handle the crane. So we can move the crane from one truck to another.
Okay, what's the,
Well, first, I know Place Motors is not on the state bid list. So I don't think you can just get a price from them. I think if you're not going through a company that's on the state bid list, you have to put it out to bid, and you have to put it out on the combines and all that stuff, because it's over 50,000. You have to follow the procurement laws for over 50,000.
okay.
There's really two issues I see here. One is a transfer of a vehicle. Actually, there's three. Transfer or disposal of a vehicle. And then there's a purchase of a new vehicle. What department purchases it is the question.
Okay. I think, again, because of time and we're up against getting these articles into, they have to be in for next Wednesday, to try to hold that timeline. I think we'd be better served to do our due diligence and make the purchase in October, the fall town meeting. But that's just my opinion. I don't know what anybody else's pleasure is.
I just would like some clarity on what DOR allows us to do. I think the logic here makes sense, is put the older truck into the sewer department and get a new truck for the water department. Water department's gonna put more miles on it. I just don't know how you do that from one enterprise to another without,
Why do you say water department's gonna put more miles?
I'm just looking at the mileage here. Cumulatively, you get more miles, but
Okay, so that's one
how
question.
many miles of sewer we have?
Well, that's a 2012 versus a 2018, so you got 80,000 on a 2012, because they don't do that much traveling around. It's mainly the corrosion that ate that away. The other one has been mileage a lot, the 2018, and that's why that has the mileage it does. Water department does much more mileage, much more traveling.
So so no matter what, this 2007 comes out of the fleet, right?
Yeah.
It won't pass inspection.
Oh.
If it came out of the fleet and you didn't do anything else, the water department still has enough vehicles for the personnel that's there, right? Or are we short?
And we might have to move into the box truck and use that.
We've got 3 pickup trucks there, the 21, the 2 350s and the 150. You got 1, 2, if that comes off the fleet, you've still got 1, 2, and 3,
Right, and a box truck.
and the box truck, and the utility truck. Sewer department, if vehicle number 2 comes off, then they've got the 1 utility truck.
And we still have the new dump truck, right?
Right.
2024. That's brand new, we just got that.
Did we ever get rid of the other one?
Yeah,
Yes.
that was bidded out.
Okay. So what's everybody, what's the pleasure of the board?
I think there's a lot of moving parts when you transfer in between them, making sure you follow the procurement laws, like you said, for
Where is it? Here.
more of the procurement laws of DOR. Does the town have any policies on it?
I know they just transferred the fire car to the health department here. They have that. So
Okay, yeah,
I can
that-
ask the,
That they're not enterprise, those aren't enterprises.
well, even so, they're town offices, town entities.
But there's a difference. There are certain
There's
rules about, and I'm glad you brought that up, because I wasn't
rates
even
are set
thinking that way.
on, rates are set based on.
Enterprise funds have, that's why we're supposed to be keeping track of when personnel, you use personnel from department to department. that they're balanced off every year. Because you can't, enterprises can be used for specific reasons, the funding.
Yeah, that's my only major concern, is if we're going to transfer a vehicle.
From enterprise to enterprise, yes.
Yeah,
I wasn't even thinking that way,
Well,
thinking of that.
if you just buy a truck. But-
Yeah,
but
So you're gonna have a whole fleet of F-350s for the water department?
Well, it's better, I mean, we can buy a 250, but for a couple $100 more, you might as well get to the 350.
what was the plow package they were quoting? Because if it's a,
Just the hardware for the truck itself, just the
Just truck side.
truck side, not the, we have the plow, just the truck side.
yeah, because if.
Because the sewer
if you buy,
department's
like,
gonna
the
give up
V
that
plows,
plow.
You need to get, either beef up the frame on the 250, or you have to get the 350 anyway, so.
I wouldn't buy anything a lot of people out anymore.
I wouldn't.
That's after I've used them.
Yep.
no.
It's the only way I'm gonna plow.
Okay, so what
Rub it in, why don't you?
what do we want to do?
What would the, if sewer had to purchase it, what does that look like out of, I mean, there's not enough in retained earnings there to do that, is there?
I'm sure there is.
Well, we're roughly, call it 900 in retained earnings. One of the articles is to pull 360 out for the budget, so now we're down to 540, and the balance is out would probably be another 40 for this year, what we need to finish out the year, so we have 500 in retained earnings over there, roughly. And then you're looking at if the rates pass with the new structure, we're looking at putting roughly 60, I believe you guys said 2%, right? So
Yes.
it's putting 60,000 back in the retained earnings.
Which would cover the cost of the pickup for the first year.
Yeah.
You'd still have 500 in retained earnings. What's in retained for water?
1,900.
1.9.
I was like 1,900.
1.9 million. That's mostly due to our resident knee breaker and the collections process. Pushed a large amount into retained earnings this past year. But that will settle down.
Well, especially if we get the add-all on the CMRPC to fix the problem on Oxford Ave.
That's
And
something I wanted to throw onto that too, so.
so you're looking at a substantial portion coming from there. And then with the lead service line, it looks to be about $200,000, give or take, of how we want to split up, how we want to spend that money and what we want from it. But you're looking for, a good chunk of that is going to come right back out of it,
Okay.
which is the theory of why you want to put that, so we can self-fund some of our
Right.
the smaller projects
Right.
as they come up.
Okay, so what do we want to do about the trucks?
Well, at what point are you looking at replacing the 2018, the 21, and the other 18?
That's further a few
Right.
years from now.
I'd rather see kind of a plan.
I have one, I think, written up on Capital, somewhere along Capital, to replace the 2018, the start, a couple of years from now, I think.
But we should figure out what your plan is for kind of going through this succession of vehicles so that you can plan out.
It's also an evaluation plan of what their condition is and, you know, that kind of thing. So every year comes up with an evaluation of the trucks. That would be the first one, obviously, as they go.
What have we typically gotten for life out of a vehicle? 10, 12 years?
Well, you see the 2012 now is
You got a 7 and a
rusted out.
12.
The 7's been, the 7 didn't do a lot of heavy work. It did a lot of traveling around and stuff and service work, but it's just a matter of when it rusts out. That's, now they're, some are aluminum bodies now, so they don't rust as much.
Right, but if you're
To make a
if you're on a
plan?
more structured plan, you sell the vehicles before they get to the point where you can't inspect them. Then you get some value back to put towards the new one. It used to be that the municipalities could get them a much better price, and you get them a lot cheaper. You could use them for a couple of years and basically sell them for what you paid for them. But I think all
all the benefits have been,
I think all the car dealerships kind of figured it out and said, why are we giving them such a deal? And if we all agree on a price, then, we can charge them just as much as we charge everyone else. Because I think if you went out and tried to buy a truck on your own, you could probably get it cheaper than our rates now.
okay, so do we want to do this now, or do we want to do this in the fall? I still think we should get all these questions answered and have a concrete, have it more, we've got more homework to do. At least that's my opinion.
Yeah, I'm not opposed. We need a vehicle somewhere here. I think what needs to be answered is,
But is there a vehicle that you can buy? I mean, you're putting miles on F-350s and heavy-duty trucks, running to the lab, running to wherever you're running to. A lot of that stuff can be done with a smaller vehicle if you get one of those.
like a Maverick or something.
That or one of those.
We've got somebody at
Ford
work,
Transits or-
I've got somebody at work that's driving one of those super miniature pickup trucks,
Oh, yeah.
the European style.
There's one on Main Street all the time, I see.
I don't think we want to go that small, but
No.
Even if you're.
it looks small next to a Corvette.
Well, one alternative would be, you could put the money into an article if you determine which side you want to buy the vehicle from, and it's available, and you just, until you resolve it, I mean, but if you make a decision in August or September, you'd still be able to purchase the vehicle versus waiting for October, having that all settle, and then re-getting the pricing in the winter for and whatever the lead time is for them. I mean, that is an alternative.
Yeah, because I just ordered a vehicle and it's 6 months out.
Yeah.
Yeah, so was mine.
Okay, well, if that's, but I think we have a lot more questions to answer before we actually sign on the dotted line to purchase.
And do we ever look into green communities on getting some kind of vehicle through green communities?
Haven't gotten any information.
There's nothing out there for IC communities for the.
I'm just thinking for things to run, small running around stuff that
I will look again,
not really
absolutely.
using.
So if we're, which account are we funding it out of, and if we're gonna fund, lock the money up, or, then how much?
Excuse me.
Yeah, you might have
I mean, I think the sewer department needs a truck,
right,
and your newest truck is 2018, so you're 8 years old already. And that's a crane truck, so that's not something you're gonna use for every day running around, or shouldn't be anyway.
the 18, yeah.
There's enough money in retained earnings.
It seems like it's cleaner if you just buy a truck out of the sewer department,
Right.
and then we can address the water department in the fall.
Okay. All right, so if we did it that way, then what are we looking at? You said it would be a little bit less expensive to purchase, if we purchased what the sewer department needs.
Well, if you're looking at a basic pickup, I mean, if you want a 150, you're in the 40-something range. If you want an F-350, or, well, you wouldn't go 250, you go either 350, and because it's pennies on the dollar, you're up in the 60s. So you wouldn't go utility body. I mean, they don't need a really utility body. They've been okay with the pickup they have. So
What do
you're
they have
looking
on it
around the
right now?
high 50s, 60s range, probably somewhere in there.
It's just a standard pickup, there's nothing else.
It's got a crane on the back, that's about makes it different, which is falling off right now. But,
The 450 or the 350?
And
350.
The 250 has the refill tank in it.
well, yeah, but that can be
Yeah,
transferred,
but-
that's not a big deal. It's a 350 truck, but it had a, Had a tank put on there too to fill up the generators and stuff like that for portable, when they're out there in the portable use.
Auxiliary tank?
Yeah, it's the pup tank. That can be, any pup tank can be bought and put on that if it has to be replaced or anything like that. It'd be part of the package.
That's on the truck that's being retired?
Yeah. That's on the F-350, the green one, with the other.
Okay, so if we've got a hard end time for our meeting tonight, so, so if we tied up 75,000 from sewer retained earnings, purchase a vehicle, that should be enough?
I would think
I
so.
would think so, it should be plenty for basic truck. That'd probably get you outfitted too, if you need to put radios and all that in it.
Yeah, that's about.
Well, you should be able to move the radio from.
Radio's about, what, 1,500?
Remove a radio
Take
from
one
one
out of the
truck
other
to
one and
another.
put it back. Those are all digital anyway, so.
Those are all new, we just purchased those.
Yeah, they were used from another.
We bought
town.
them used, yeah.
Yeah. They would just move it over to the other truck.
Okay. So
Need
we can,
toolbox or any of that stuff.
Well, with the pod on there, the toolbox is there. We could always put a toolbox. That's not that expensive to put a toolbox on there. Or put a different type of toolbox system on the back. It all depends on what they want to do at the time. But it's not a big deal to put a toolbox on it.
okay, so we can take all the warrant articles as a whole, I guess. Warrant, new truck, all right. All right,
75K then?
yep. Okay, the warrant articles.
The first one is pretty straightforward, transfer from retained earnings, 360, to the accounts, well, to the line items that we determined in the budget. I&I line for 300, the capital account for 50, and the safety account for 10.
Okay,
And that's what we had based our initial budget on, but we have to vote to transfer that retained earnings in for the budget.
okay, so that question's pretty well, all set. The second one, that's for, second one under sewer, that was for balancing,
And
budget balancing?
Correct, that's for the next 4 months of our, I went through and of the electricity, the monthly bills that we have always taken out of sewer. And basically, if you average it out, we're looking at like $36,000 that we have to pay over the next 4 months. As of right now, we're balanced. We take money from the other line items, we're balanced. If we spend anything else, I will be in the negative.
it's mainly the electrical.
The electric, and then there's like 4 routine bills every month that we take out of sewer operating expenses.
The Patterson Ave
Project. yeah, yeah.
detonation.
Yeah, that project, okay. So what's this?
What's the number?
Safe number there? 40,
We-
50?
You're, once everything is said and done, this is, in the average covers up to, what, basically June 1st, and you're looking at one more month, so you're 40, slightly over 40,000, and then at that point, you can,
That's, I apologize, that's not including any pumping over the next 4 months, pumping any sewer stations.
That's correct.
That's why I was saying, if
I
we're,
didn't figure that in, I
if
just.
we're
just-
looking about
how much is it a day per pumping?
Well,
$300?
no, it's like 2,000.
Oh, 2,000,
It's
it
like
went
at
up.
least
Okay.
2,000 a
Oh, yeah,
shot.
what was I thinking? Okay, yep.
Then I would say probably 45,000.
So that, just because I don't know.
Gives us one more occurrence in there, God forbid. Because we were
They will
down,
be
what, a
clean,
week?
they will be clean and pumped before the end of this fiscal year. They are doing better because we're using the chemicals the right way for the first time in years.
But Patterson was what, cost us 5 days on that, basically?
Oh, more than that.
Well, in almost 2 weeks.
Yeah, it was almost 2 weeks in that.
But, I mean,
But I mean,
that-
just an average pump out, like
Yeah.
when we've had them before, just to pump a station, it's $2,000.
No, maybe 50? I mean, if it doesn't get spent, if it doesn't get used, it goes right back into retained earnings
That's true.
anyways. So, it's just to be sure that we're not having to leave unpaid bills. I mean, what do you think?
We'll make it work if that's, I mean, you know, it is what it is. I'm more worried about any unforeseen emergency expenditures that we may get. That's what I'm more concerned about. Right now, we're okay, but I could jinx it just by saying that.
I mean, we're in the wet season, and
Well,
You don't, I mean,
is 50 enough?
nothing's ever enough. It's just, I can manage it right
If I
now.
had the
and I
crystal ball
we
here,
can
I
be
can tell you
careful. I'm
exactly
trying to
what's-
hold off on doing a lot of stuff right now until I can.
yeah, and it's,
I mean, because we get one shot at this to balance it, so.
Correct.
right.
That's why I just gave you, like, things that I definitely know need to be paid before the end of this year for the next 4 months, that I have no money for, so,
Okay, so that's 40, then that's 40-ish.
yeah.
So,
April,
I think we go to 60.
March, April.
Why don't we go to 60, leave it at there, and we'll make that work as best we can. We'll just do the priority stuff that we see.
yeah,
That's
no,
all. That's all.
no steak and lobster for the guys, yeah.
No.
Just ask James to pull back a little.
Yeah.
You know, keep our Napa and that to a minimum right now.
Yeah.
He'll be taking his bike to work.
Okay, and then, all right, so we're talking about 60K there. All right, down to number 3.
So technically, I apologize, number 4 would be switched over to sewer.
Yes, this goes up here.
Yeah.
So if you want to do that one next, just so you're still on sewer.
Okay, so, yeah, we were talking about 75 plus. I mean, can it be done for 75 or less, or should it be less? Because we don't want to have money left over in the account that has to be.
I would hold it there. 70. Yeah, 75 is.
Does that seem right?
I mean, I just ordered a 350 and it was 74 and change.
He's talking about tying up 75,000, and you gotta get it transferred back into retained earnings if you don't spend it all.
Right.
Right.
But it's tied up until you. go
It'll be a
down
warrant
and
article.
Transfer it back.
Yeah,
Until-
that's probably one of the things in the fall I'll end up doing is
I just
going.
don't want to.
But every couple of years.
We always
clean
do
up
a
our
buffer
articles.
anyway. If the truck stay is around 75, we would go to 85 or something. We don't need a whole lot more than for some accessories and things like that, if that's what you're getting at. It's not.
Okay,
But through the budget, you have 50,000 in the capital line item.
We can always
that
play a little
we
bit
could-
with some other money if we had to.
okay. Does that, we're in agreement?
Yeah, I mean, 75 for a purchase of a truck is what I know market rate to be right
If
now.
we're looking at a 150 or, a small.
150 is going to be cheaper. That should be a lot
Yeah, I
cheaper
was gonna
than.
say, it shouldn't be 75.
Yeah, the
No,
75
well,
would be more the
250.
utility brand.
Yeah,
Like I have.
350,
I
yeah.
already have the quote for like 75.
Okay,
So can it just be a vague warrant article for the purchase of a truck for the sewer department?
You have to have a dollar amount.
Well, I can put the 75,000, but can it just be, I don't have to put, like I know in the past we've
Oh,
specified.
yeah,
No.
you could put it and we're going to give it back. Whatever we don't use is going to go back.
No,
in.
well,
No, I'm
No.
not talking about the money, I'm talking about the description of the vehicle.
description of the, description, yeah, there doesn't have to be.
4x4
anything with it.
pickup truck.
That's fine, just so
Standard
I
pickup.
have,
Yeah,
yeah.
doesn't have to be that.
And then,
Yeah, because you could.
to
get it out
replace,
by any brand.
to replace a
You know,
2012.
Yeah.
2012,
I don't even know if I'd say truck, I'd say vehicle.
Perfect,
a vehicle to purchase, to replace a 2012
And
F-350.
And appurtenances.
and accessories.
Pertinences.
Purposes.
Appurtenances.
appurtenances.
Okay,
Someone learned a word today.
Mains and appurtenances.
Thank you.
okay, the PFAS settlement account.
So the plan was to pay off a couple of the loans that we've been paying, but they're in the forms of non-callable bonds, so we can't do that. So the resolution would be to pay from that account some of the debts we have this year from there, from PFAS-related issues, which pretty much I think every single one of our debts actually qualifies. The option A would be on the treatment plant, it's a $377,000 rough payment. And which would take a pretty good bite out of the account, which is in a savings or some sort of form. I believe Rich said it's probably around a 3.5% interest rate, without looking. And those, we'd be paying a 0% loan
Right.
and taking a third of it. Basically, I think it's 1.15-ish is the amount that's in that account. Or my suggestion is to pay what we have to pay on the bonds, which are at 5% and 4%, or both at 5. One actually reduces down to 4 as one of the payment schedules, which would be about $205,000 payment out of that account. So in theory, rough backyard math, you're gaining at least a little bit of interest while having to pay. I mean, at the very end, we'll have to kick in some money for it and pay it. Hopefully when it's down to like a $40,000 a year payment. The last couple payments, we'd have to pay out of our own funds or budget for it. And allow our money to mature almost at the rate that we're paying at. But we're still not maturing at the rate that we're paying at, though. Which would leave us 900-ish
So
thousand dollars.
it's about 204,000-ish.
Yeah,
You'll have exact numbers. for
yeah,
that.
we have, I just have to confirm.
Yeah. To pay the 2 interest-bearing accounts.
The account, the bonds would be
Interest.
for the blending main and for the temporary treatment at 7.
Right.
Make the yearly payments out of those, because there's a principal interest payment, and then there's an interest payment halfway through the fiscal. So there's 2 payments a year on those.
Right.
How long do those bonds
Rich.
2031, I believe.
Yeah, they can't be,
They
can't be paid off in full until 2031. I was able to ask Rich about that on Monday, and then Brian has been doing a bunch of homework on that.
So was it a 5-year bond?
One's a little longer than,
Did he do?
31, it's gonna be that's a 10-year bond.
10 years.
Because we did these projects in 2020 and 2021.
yeah.
I was in the middle of COVID,
Yeah.
beginning of COVID. What about the engineering borrowing? Didn't we borrow 500?
Paid that off.
Oh, we paid that off, okay. So how do we want to deal
Partial
with
grant
that?
part. It was only like a 3 or 4 year loan, and that was from when we were on Mason Road and the tank rehab
Yeah,
other project that we had to pay out of pocket for short-term money.
okay, so how do we want to do that? I kind of like your idea of paying off the interest, the interest accounts.
Let that interest pay at least some of the interest
Yeah.
in theory.
Yeah.
To offset it with,
Make your money work for you.
I agree.
Does that work?
So what's the dollar value?
It's about $205,000 in payments.
So how would that be? Would that be
I just have to make sure
transferred?
because sometimes most of the time we don't have it, but if there's a payment fees or anything else,
Is there a, does that get transferred to our capital line item? For the
I
purpose
think-
of?
Debt.
I would.
Debt line item, I'm sorry.
that's what Sarah's not in this week.
She's back. She came today.
Oh, she's back. It would,
It would be to our
whatever,
debt line item.
honestly, I'd defer to her to say whatever the easiest way or more proper way to make the state happy of how we have to pay that.
Okay,
So either, does it get paid directly out of that account, or do they have to transfer that amount into the debt line item, and that's how we do it.
And we pay from there.
So,
Okay,
because we don't want to get caught up in not having to pay it, or not being able to pay it from that account. And then we have to wait to the fall town meetings to start transferring, and then it just gets really muddy and
yeah,
make it clean right off the hop.
okay. So work with her on the actual wording of it. Okay, and then number 5,
This is for the lead service line.
service line, yep.
Inventories. We got a quote for just the engineering part of the services for $80,000 to $90,000 is their estimate. When I talked to Heidi, she said the vac excavation is usually about 55 to 60% of the total amount, and this is just the engineering side. So if we put the vac excavation in there, we'd be around 220-ish, rough math, for the total loan amount, or for a total cost. So we could either go with the total cost, apply for an SRF loan at 0% as it's sitting right now, and it's always a moving target, with a substantial forgiveness amount around 40. But in the end, we actually don't have anything tangible when we go to find 2 galvanized pipes on our side. We could also get an SRF loan for just the engineering side of their 90,000 or 100 or whatever else they would end up coming in, and have a forgiveness off of that to reduce our costs. So we'd get a 0% loan with forgiveness. We'd take it on as a debt technically, but we can pay it through the retained earnings. And then take a warrant article. We'd have to fast track getting on the capital committee and explaining to them to buy a vac excavation truck, trailer, which I have a quote for $118,000. And we actually have something that we can use for the next 10 years, because this proposal from them only covers us up until November 1st, 2027, and the first leg of the lead service line. And we'll have to do about 115 excavations over a 2 fiscal year period. We'd have to do it in-house, but at least we'd have something tangible for our efforts. And then following 8 years or 7 years that we have to continually take another 10% of our unknowns, we wouldn't have to go out and sub out another $20,000, $30,000, $40,000 a year. And so my suggestion is to borrow, actually there is a 6th warrant article then, to borrow the engineering costs through SRF up to $100,000, just in case something changes, and to get the forgiveness of 40%, which would save us
Oh, yeah.
$40,000.
You get anything you can get for free.
When I talked to Jeff, he's like, it's the state's kind of sort of backdoor way of calling it a grant, but not a grant at the same
Yeah.
time. And then us buying this trailer out of retained earnings for 120 and having something for this.
An asset.
Yeah. Otherwise, we're just, in my opinion, we're just throwing money away if we don't actually have
Right.
something for it. And the last conversation I had with Heidi there, she goes, a lot of the municipalities are leaning this way because it's
It
the
makes
small-
sense.
to have something for the, but unfortunately, the SRF loan will not allow us to buy equipment.
Right. So if we're looking at, so number 5, then we're looking at, and this is a sole provider, so
Sole source.
sole source, 120,000?
Roughly, 118.
Yeah, it's 118,
Yep,
but
and that's
Pretty cool.
it's delivered and with training.
I've actually seen one. A neighboring community has one of these already.
Who that could be?
I've seen it.
I was intrigued when I looked at that. So.
Just about tripped over it when I walked out. I walked out the door and,
But it would,
Ran
in
into it.
theory, once things calm down or we get through and we're more efficient with this, it would help us in a lot of other aspects. If we have a gate valve that we have to move or just not sitting
I
right.
see this as just a great day-to-day asset. From
Yeah,
what I can
Just
do.
a valve exercise in alone
yeah.
in town. You should sure you haven't kept up with that.
So if we call that,
Save us on shoulder repairs.
so if we call that 120,000,
Yeah, the quote is good for 2 months. I talked to him today. He goes, there's no anticipated price increases or anything else coming up at this time.
Yeah, they've already had that over the past couple of years. 'Cause when I started, it was 90, and it was 130 when I bought it.
okay.
They dropped the GPS thing off. They don't even.
And then, so then you're gonna have, okay, so if we did that, then we're gonna need a number 6. And that's the one that,
Engineering.
Ty and Bond is gonna provide the wording for?
Ty and Bond typically does the wording for us for the SRF grants or loans. I already had that conversation with Jeff for that. And we would have to obviously do the verbiage for procuring this. And
Engineering, okay.
this is very much the cart before the horse, unfortunately. But I think the people on capital improvement would understand that we have to spend this money. We're letting you know, can we just please?
When is that meeting?
Monday night.
Well, that's combined with the selectmen,
That's, yeah, it's the only time they have one
Only time
coming
they
up.
okay. Okay,
So on that one, it's, do we want to borrow the money on the SRF in any way, shape, or form? And what form do we want to do that? Do we want to do it in just the full everything and we end up paying, we pay contractors for the back excavation? Or do we just part out the engineering, take the SRF loan and the forgiveness, and then we purchase the vehicle, or the trailer, that we do it in-house? And we take that money out of retain. from
to me,
retained
it
earnings.
seems like a no-brainer.
Yeah, I'm for the latter, so.
You've got an asset when all is said and done.
You have a place to put it.
Yep. The old compressor is right now. Move that out, put that one in there.
Okay, so,
So we just get, we can,
But yeah, could we put the compressor?
do we need to vote on
Yeah.
these? Okay, think we can take it as a, you'll work on wording.
Yeah, and once I have.
We just
all-
put, what we needed to do was put numbers in.
Correct, and once I have the official wording, which hopefully Jeff will have it to me by Monday, I will send it all out just for everybody's review, just to make sure that I don't have anything, but yeah.
yeah,
Okay.
last time we did or didn't do that, and it kind of got hung up for one cycle of town meetings.
Yep.
Because someone changed something someplace, so.
Okay, so I guess we need
Is there a reason that we did number 1 as an article and not just as the budget? They're all budget line items.
Yeah, but
we're
we have
taking
to
money
take-
from retained earnings.
We're taking from the money, from retained earnings.
Yeah, but you can put that in an article, your budget article, raise and appropriate this much for salaries, this much for expenses.
That's how they asked us to do it last time.
Well, I know you can do it all as one. You just specify this amount from retained earnings. for the
Different town councils.
But it is actually in the budget notes that was sent over that it's coming from retained earnings. So, I mean, when they go over and accept the budget, there's a chance that they could strike this one from it just because of that.
Say it again.
So, yeah, that line, those,
Selectmen and
that
FAA
wording, yeah,
vote.
that, to transfer those numbers to those line items
Vote on the budget?
of the
When
2027.
they vote on the budget, they haven't talked about our budget yet, as far as I know.
No, they haven't taken our budget up yet. I don't think that's coming up for another couple of weeks, to be honest. Okay. No. I guess we need a motion to, I don't know if you want to take them individually or just take them as a group, the 6 questions to be, 6 warrant articles to be sent to the town meeting warrant.
If we make it, or just say as amended, based on what you've written here.
Yep.
So I'll make that motion. So I make a motion that we accept these 6 warrant articles as amended.
Second.
Okay, motion's been made and seconded. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Unanimous. Okay. Warrant articles. Annual report. That annual report, good job.
Thank you.
Do we still, do we?
You have to vote on it to send it over. so
Okay.
That's why it's on here.
Okay, so that was, I know George put together a town report. Justin looked through it and was able to, I mean, it had everything in it. I think it had maybe a little too much. But Justin was able to bring it down to 3 pages. And I think I responded with 3, that there were pretty much Scribner's errors-ish.
Yep.
There was nothing, had nothing, it wasn't substantial. Other than that, I thought it looked very well. So I guess we need to vote to accept the annual report as amended, to be sent over to be published.
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Unanimous. Okay, board comments?
I got nothing.
Okay. Number 9.
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Unanimous.